saw a really good video one time about a guy, and he was showing how to load these M1 Garand clips, and I don't remember who it was, or I've watched so many videos about the M1 Garand or Garand, however you want to say it, that I honestly don't remember. The only thing I remember is how he showed how to do it, but it was a good method. He said, put it in your hand, kind of like this, where you can kind of move it around with your fingers. And normally, what I want the last round to end up on the top right, because I'm right-handed and it's just easier to push it down in there that way. So basically, you just keep it in your hand like this. You just put one round in there, and since I want to end up on the right, I'm starting down here on the left. So there's one, there's two. You just stack them on top of each other. 3, 4, 5, and then when you get to 6, it should kind of clip in there. Now they're kind of holding themselves. You get 7, then the last one. Sometimes it's kind of hard depending on what kind of clip you have. Sometimes I have to kind of mess with it a little bit, but anyways, there you go. That was not a very good showing of how to do it, but that is a very good, easy method I saw from a guy on a video. And I started on this end, and it doesn't matter either way, so it's on the right. The last round is the top is on the right, so you can push it down in a lot easier. But there you go. That's how I do it. Alright, CMP M1 Garand. This is I lasered 54 yards, and these are 168 grain Hornady boat tail hollow points with 48.95. So let's see what we get here.
2,597. 2,547. 2,571. 2,582. 2,521. 2,532.
This is kind of a finish up here on this my M1 Garand 30-06. I just shot 3 clips through it because I just took it out of the box. I hadn't done anything to it. Since then I've cleaned it, I put the tongue oil on it, and I really like the way it turned out with the tongue oil. It really just, it makes the stock look great. Those guys, CMP, that's what they told me to do. I just took some steel wool, light steel wool, I think it's like triple or quadruple aught steel wool, and just went over it lightly, put a coat on it, went over it a little bit, then put another coat on it, and it really turned out nice. But this first target, this is what I was using to kind of sight it in a little bit or see where the sights were shooting. And I was shooting this, the 30-06, it's the PPU made for M1 Garand ammo, and it was, you know, doing pretty well. I think my first couple shots were over here. I kind of moved the sight just like 1 or 2 clicks, and then I was kind of hitting over here, and maybe I had one flyer over here. But anyways, it looked like it was, and I was at 54 yards, but it looked like it was shooting pretty good. And then I went to some, it's these, if you can see them upside down, but it's a Hornady 168 grain boat tail hollow point, and this is a nice bullet. These bullets are they're really nice quality. But this one, you know, I was still sort of getting used to the rifle, and I did load these. It was Winchester new brass, and 45.5 grains IMR, 48.95 Winchester large rifle primers. And when I went back and looked at the video, it looked like I had, like, this string here was kind of like in a row, like, you know, I had at least these 4 here like in a row, so that was pretty good. But the rest of it was kind of spread around. I think I'm going to try to, you know, work with this a little bit more, and you know, see what I can do, because really, all in all, it's shot, you know, I mean, it's a pretty large group overall. That's probably, you know, close to 5 inches, you know, 4.5, 5 inch group right there. But you know, this part right here was pretty good, and I was just using the Lee Perfect powder measure, so it wasn't like I, you know, exactly weighed out every charge. And I mean, it's stick powder, so it's, you know, but, and I didn't put any data as far as you know, velocity, or, you know, include that. I mean, you can hear it on the video if you want. But the last one I shot was, you know, I bought these bullets like years ago from Widener's, and if you never heard of them, they're a pretty good source for reloading. They used to sell surplus guns, but they don't really, you know, have many anymore. They had tons of Swiss rifles at one point, you know, 5 or 6 years ago. But these were just like, you know, they have sales on 308 bullets, and these were just some generic, like, you know, 147 grain generic, you know, 30 caliber bullet. And I think 500 of them, it was like, you know, $65 or $68, some in that neighborhood, you know, on sale. And these actually, you know, I was kind of impressed. I've been shooting those in 300 blackout, you know, some, and I mean, they'd shot pretty well for me. And here, you know, they shot pretty well. I mean, I took my time more with this group, and you know, tried to shoot it really good. And you know, I was aiming kind of high. I was aiming a little high, but because I was aiming sort of right up here, you know, on the target. But I mean, that's a decent group. I mean, that's a 3-inch group. I mean, there again, it's only at, you know, 50, 54 yards or whatever. But with cheap bullets, Lee Perfect powder measure, just, you know, throwing the charges. First time shooting out of the M1 Garand, you know, I mean, I hadn't done anything to it. I didn't even clean it. I took it like right out of the box and just, I put a little bit of lube, put a little bit of grease on a couple places, you know, on it, and I just went out and started shooting it. So I feel like that's, you know, that's pretty good for what that was. But this is a nice rifle. I really like it. You know, hand loading for this rifle, think I'm really going to enjoy. I like loading a 30-06. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to shoot. This rifle is a lot of fun to shoot. So anyways, this is my first, you know, M1 Garand 30-06 reloads, and yeah, I'm gonna take this data I got here and hopefully you know, drill it down a little bit and take my time reloading a little bit more next time, you know, just to see what this gun will do, because it's obviously it looks like it's got a pretty good barrel on it still. It can still shoot pretty good, so I'm gonna see what I can do with it. Anyways, enough rambling on about it. Hopefully this was enjoyable. I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks so much. Take care. We'll see you next time.